2 marks. Okay. Now the objective why this particular interaction is done, I'll repeat what Madam said. I'll take 1 minute time of that. As a part of World Investor Week. So when we say World Investor Week, the similar session is organized across the globe in more than 100 countries. It may be Europe, it may be America, maybe North or Latin America or South American nations. It may be Asian countries, it may be Middle East. The regulatory bodies of all these countries conduct this. So the regulatory body for us is SEBI, Security and Exchange Board. Similarly, there is a commission based out of US, there is a commission based out of Australia, there is a commission in European nations. All of them together, we call it as ISOC, right? All of them together conduct this as a part of an awareness program. It is not to say that you guys go and start opening a demat account and start reading tomorrow. That's not the objective. Eventually you may do, some of you may also be doing. But unfortunately, what regulators observe is a lot of people enter into the market looking at one side of the story. You open your Instagram account in case if you're interested or if you have Googled stock market, maybe the very next minute advertisement related to that will start coming. You know how it is, right? You may be into it, you may not be into it, but it will come to you. It will come on your wall, maybe Insta, or Facebook, or YouTube, or maybe normal search engines also. And the graph over there shows some person has invested 20 rupees, it becomes 50 rupees in 1 hour. Somebody has invested 10 lakhs, it becomes 20, 18, 30 lakhs within a day. The graph will be just going on top. If you keep for some more time, it will break your screen and come out. It looks like that. But unfortunately, that's not true. Right? Today, lot of youngsters are into the mode of trading, especially into riskier trades like futures and options, where they have no idea what it is. They have absolutely no clue. I have seen personally hundreds of students into that. They just pick up some course on YouTube, which talks about analysis. It talks about the call and put options, and so this is easy money. I borrow 500 rupees from my friend, put it on either a call or put option, looking at some market tips. I don't know from where the tip comes. It comes, they said, "Chalo, paisa laga denge." By afternoon that 500 becomes 1000, I am happy. I have written that 500 rupees, 500 ka sham ka party ho gaya. Done. I am happy. Next day morning again the cycle repeats. In process, people have lost good amount of money, very good amount. Right? I'll quote a report of SEBI. This is an official report coming from SEBI, which says last year the number of people who traded on these derivatives or these options, right, on an average, right, 90% of the people have made loss. 90. Only 10% have made money. And who are these 10% people? Sitting in Dalal Street in Mumbai. They get the information first hand. They work on it. And by the time the message reaches traders sitting in Hubli, Belgaum, Dharwad, Kanyakumari somewhere, the markets have changed. And unfortunately, the person makes a loss. And the average loss made by every trader last year stands at 1 lakh rupees. This is the average loss. Right? So it's a huge. I'm sure you might have seen the broadcast on the OTT channel, which talks about stock market as a well, which can fill the thirst of entire country. It's that huge. It's unimaginable amount of money over there. But when you are entering into this, you need to understand the pros and cons. You don't understand the pros and cons, it's difficult. Most importantly, the fundamentals. Right? We have to learn, understand the fundamentals before entering. And the session addresses mostly on creating an awareness. It's an education initiative. Not to tell, I will show some slides and say, see Tata share kal kharido, परसों Adani ka kharido. After 10 days you put a bet on this. No, it doesn't talk about that. It talks purely about awareness. And why awareness? Tomorrow, if anything goes wrong into the market, it's the regulator which has to act. Today, there are many investors who are knocking the doors of the regulator, saying what? I have lost my money. Now, what can the regulator do? If you had made a profit, will you give it to the regulator? No, not possible. But if there is a loss, we approach the regulator. Saying what? The regulator says you should be aware of this. If you are not aware, it is your mistake. Nothing, regulator cannot do anything about it. So we conduct these programs not only for students, we do it for school teachers, we do it for working professionals, retired professionals, we do it for housewives, because this is reached almost everyone. Today, housewife sitting in the house, browsing through YouTube may come across anything like this, and she will say, okay, this is quick money. Why shouldn't I do it? Luckily, I have saved 500,000 somewhere and I kept it in the rice bag. Let me use it. But unfortunately, the fundamentals are missing. Right? Whenever we end up trading in any format, maybe stock market, maybe bullion, maybe futures and options or derivatives, or metal market, or any form of investment for that matter, understanding the fundamentals is a must. Without understanding the fundamentals, it's absolutely wrong. The regulator wants to make this message very clear. The regulator will always use a phrase which says, "Be an informed investor." You might have come across a lot of advertisements on television also. There are, you know, initiatives taken by the regulator, by the exchanges, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Ahmedabad Stock Exchange, Bangalore. They have taken initiatives to educate. But unfortunately, that message doesn't reach the end user. It's very difficult. Whereas something which is not supposed to be told, it reaches quickly. Like an investment tip, a stock tip, or an advertisement which is run on Insta or somewhere where it reaches lakhs of audience within no time. Because they intend to send it to so many people so that the business increases. Right? When we deal with the securities market, having an idea of the fundamentals is a must at any given point of time. Right? In case if we are not aware of it, then ideally approaching expert is recommended. But unfortunately, we feel I will go to YouTube, I'll go to Google, I'll do a self study, I'll understand. There's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely fine if you do a self study and be aware. But there are certain things which cannot be understood so easily. I have to approach an expert. An expert is someone who will give advices for their benefit, but at the same time, they are giving us some genuine information. And most importantly, whom are you approaching is also important. Ensure you deal only with SEBI registered intermediaries. Now, the first question comes is, who is a SEBI registered intermediary? I don't know. Nobody will put a tag that I am SEBI registered. Everybody will say they are SEBI registered. But you go to the website of SEBI, sebi.org, right? You Google SEBI / intermediaries, you will get a list of registered intermediaries which you have to deal with. Now, this is a booklet which is given by the NSDL free of cost because this is something which will come as a training takeaway. The information which is put over there, you may find some of that in your academics also, but a lot of things are not there in your academics. Right? The point that I am saying, the points which are there on the presentation are similar which are there in the booklet. So there is a possibility I speak for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you may not be able to recollect everything. But this you can always learn. Right? This is meant for your benefit. Right? When we talk about stock market, people usually feel, I ask if I randomly ask 10 people going on the road, what is stock market? The first thing they will say is, it's like gambling. That's the wrong perception that is unfortunately created by people who are dealing with it in a wrong manner. If you ask me, what is a stock market? I will say it is a place where you can invest and try to get a return out of it. Try to get a return. Right? All of you would have heard of Warren Buffett, possibly one of the best investors you can find on earth today. Rakesh Jujunwala, right? They used to hold the portfolio for decades, not months or years, for decades. That is how they have built their portfolio. Today, a person who invests will say, I'll buy today and sell tomorrow. That's my mantra. And I want to become the next Warren Buffett. Practically not possible. He himself has not become this by investing for few days or weeks. He himself has not. But at the same time, let me also tell you, all these wealthy investors have also lost their money, which you will not find that information on the internet. You will not. But if you read their biography, you listen to their interviews carefully, they will mention that, yes, I have lost money. That was a learning stage for me. But unfortunately, the advertisement which will come, who wants us to invest, they will never talk about the losses. We will only be told about profits. To earn that profit, I have put so many years into practice. To earn that profit, I have put this risk into place. Nobody talks about that. As an investor individually, I should be aware of this. I cannot say, oh, the advertisement did not show about this, so I don't know what is the risk or not. I cannot say this. This is unfortunately a wrong attitude of an investor who is ill-informed or misinformed. If I have the right information about the markets, I will study the pros and cons. And most importantly, as an individual, what you should be aware of whenever you are investing, you may be investing into the markets directly or indirectly, maybe through aspects like mutual funds or through any other avenue. You have to be aware of your ability to take the risk. What risk you can take? Only you can tell you. I cannot tell you that. What risk I can take? Only I know it. Nobody else can tell you. So it is called as risk appetite. If I have a larger risk appetite, I can go into the risky investments. If I have a low risk appetite, I should not enter into equity. Never. Because I am entering looking at what? The returns. Oh, इसमें return ज़्यादा है, very good. But my ability to take the risk is less. If I incur a loss, I can never come out of it. I will face a larger obstacle tomorrow if my risk appetite is low. Individually, you should know what is your ability to take the risk. Everybody's risk appetite will be different. It cannot be the same. I can take moderately low risk. Somebody can take moderately high risk. Somebody can take very high risk. Basis that only you are always advised to invest, especially into equities. And if anybody tells you equity guaranteed return, we have stock market pundits. You tell me anything, we'll guarantee a return. Ask them to give in writing. If at all they give in writing, send that written document to SEBI. Within no time, their shop will be closed. Within no time.